All right, hello, hello. Um, I figured I'd go ahead and dip my toes into this tournament. I've been watching a couple of people streaming this on Twitch, mostly Blades. I watched a lot of Blades playing this. Um, I had some other stuff to do, but it was really interesting to see all the strategies and kind of chat with him about some of the different possibilities. So this is a tournament put on by Atreyu. Link to the Google Doc in the description. And yeah, pretty simple premise. Just keep a torch going all the way from Desolation Point to Mountain Town and light some fires along the way. I think we'll go ahead and get into some attempts. I also want to do some sort of route planning and theory crafting type stuff, but I think we'll just start with some direct attempts of this. So the rules are we do custom interloper, and then we change... Well, we're allowed to change the starting time of day to suit our preference. So I've been thinking about this a bit. I think dawn and noon are both fine. I think evening might be good if you're going celestial navigator as a feat. And I think a time between dawn and noon is actually ideal, like maybe mid-morning. So it's possible that it's still best to do random, but I don't want to do a ton of starts. So we're just going to go with noon. There's plenty of light. And you do get to choose 2 feats for this. Spawn in DP. We're going to play female. And I think Snowwalker is, you kind of have to take this if you want to compete for the top times. The other ones are a slight toss-up. I've seen some people saying Straight to the Heart might be good. I think the best one will be Celestial, but I don't have that feat unlocked. So I'm just going to do Cold Fusion. It might help out a little bit with the temperature. I don't think I'm going to get too much out of this, but I might get a little bit, and that'll make up for the fact that I don't have Celestial Navigator unlocked. Obviously, that speed boost is huge, and you just have to play until you get a lucky clear weather at night. Alright, so this will just be the first attempt. And we got the bad spawn. So this is one thing I really don't like about this. I wish the start was in, like, Broken Railroad or Mountain Town or one of those places where there's only one spawn point. Because obviously one spawn point is stronger than the other. So you just have to kind of keep trying until you get it. Fortunately, it saves your stats. So, saves your setup, I mean. It does not save your starting feats, though. We have to keep doing that. Snowwalker and Cold Fusion. And I think I won't even name these anymore. We'll just go back and rename them once we actually get a run going. Okay, so we got a good spawn. I'm going to try going straight up to the lighthouse first. It's unclear whether it even makes sense to go to the lighthouse. You do get a stim, but time is fairly precious. I'm really messing this up. I might get a sprain right away. Okay, looks like we made it. Okay, so we're up. We just go along here. And we're pretty much at the lighthouse. I don't think there's a faster way up, just because you spawn so close to that start point for that goat. Okay, so I think it's probably worth it to loot this. And check for boots and matches here. Might grab that. Don't need cooking oil. There could be a bandage sitting in here or in that. I don't think it's worth it to check the drawers. And then I'm going to save my energy for running outside. We obviously want the stim. We'll take the book.
Handy.
There's the stim. And then it probably makes sense to go up here and check the lockers and check for the jerry can. I don't actually know where the jerry can spawns, unfortunately. I don't know, these lockers might have a chance to spawn coffee, so I'm going to check them. There's also, oh, tinder is, I mean, that's faster than breaking something down for tinder, so I'll take it. I think the jerry can spawns here. Does anybody know where the jerry can is? I don't see it. Let's just go. Grab those for a salty snack. Hey, APM, welcome in. Okay, so didn't get much out of that, just a piece of tinder. Honestly, that's one of the reasons that it's good to go there first, I think, because you can get tinder, you can get accelerant, you could potentially get some clothing. Next up is the Riken. I basically want to loot these 3 locations, Lighthouse, Riken, and Hibernia. And then, personally, I feel if you don't get a good enough start from that, you might as well just restart. Because by the time you make the trip all the way to Quonset, you could have tried 2 or 3 more starts. That's just how I see it. I know some people like want to get a time on the board first before they start to re-roll. But the way I see it is eventually I'm going to get the perfect run, and I'd hate to accidentally waste it. Okay, so we can get a scarf here. Let's go ahead and throw that on for some temperature. We're actually warming up in here with cold fusion. And there's only a couple of things to check here. There's, there might be a medicine thing in here. First aid kit. There's this file cabinet, which we're checking for coffee. You can also get, like, newsprint, which is nice.
Looks like this has been
I took that soda, but it's probably bad. I probably don't even want to carry that. And then I guess I'll take the flask. I'll do a little bit of running. Try to leave here with full energy, though. Grab these coal. And I think we go check the bed upstairs, too. Might as well. There can be, like, newsprint or cloth around here. I think these are worth checking, because they quite often have decent items in them. Another book is good. So we got tinder and a book. No accelerant, though. And then we just check along here. I don't know where the canned food can spawn. Okay, let's just go. This is something that I can kind of learn, like, what's the best thing to look for there. Now, let's go this way. That might be the long way around.
Whew. Sure getting cold.
And I do already have tinder, which means it's probably not worth... Oh, the wind is so... The wind is actually slowing me down quite a bit here. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's a fun little short run. I don't know if I'll actually complete it. Like, I don't know if I'll try to get a really good time on it. I think I messed up and entered the top one. Let's just go back and enter the lower one. I just want to see what kind of loot is in here. Or maybe I entered the wrong door. Now, this is the secret trailer, so there can be a first aid kit in here. That's good to know. Because you might want a bandage. Jeans, I guess, aren't terrible. And then, I don't know if those... I feel like these might be able to spawn coffee, but I don't know if that's true. So maybe this is a waste of time. I guess I can grab that. A little bit of extra temperature on the fire isn't bad. Yeah, so the main reason I'm not sure if I'll actually do a full run on this
It's so cold.
is it's very
I wanna lay down for a
RNG heavy. Like, you need to find coffee. You actually need to find quite a bit. You probably need to find at least 2 tins, maybe 3. And you kind of need at least one of them to be early on in the run. Okay, let's check these, and then we'll go get the matches. Trying to think. I think matches can be in here sometimes. Yeah, so in a sense, it's just like restarting over and over until you get the perfect luck. And that's the part that I think will start to grate on me after a while. I'd rather just like run it a few times, maybe come up with some shortcuts, get the info out there in case other people want to do those. I'd like to see somebody do this in less than 16 hours, possibly less than 15 hours. So maybe if I can show off some of my shortcuts through Coastal Highway and stuff, maybe that'll give enough of an edge to somebody who's actually willing to put in the time. I'll check these larger drawers too, since these can spawn coffee. And I think if we get to this point and we haven't found coffee, because we checked everything, right? Let me just run through the rest of the building first. I don't think this backpack is even worth searching. Peaches. There can be wood down there, but it's probably not even worth checking for. These two tables could potentially have newspaper on them. And where's that other table? Back there. I don't think we can afford to check those. Yeah, so basically once I check all that, we go up here and grab the stuff, and then we go start a fire and get ready to leave. And so at this point, this cup of coffee is always here, so it's basically mandatory to come up here. Books.
Never know. Could end up
Sardines that are in bad shape. And usually there's some canned food up here. Alright, so I think because we did not get a tin of coffee, it's basically best to treat this as a dead run and not take it any further than this. Let me just go into the... How do I want to do this? I'm going to do a little bit of practice for this remaining part, and then we'll restart. I think what we'll do today is maybe do a couple of attempts, and then we'll jump to doing some like theory crafting or route planning for later in the run, and then we'll do a few more attempts. One of the things I'm really worried about is Tinder, because I don't have the Fire Master feat also. And even if I had it unlocked, I don't think it would be worth it. So other than randomly finding Tinder, I know there's this. It breaks down in 12 minutes for one Tinder. It's 27 minutes for 3, 18 minutes for 2. Those are really, really bad. When you consider that just picking up a stick, you can harvest that for 2 Tinder in 5 minutes. Interesting, there's a flare there. Okay, is there anything else I want to plan out? No, I think we just go back and we do this again. So let me just go ahead and delete these 2 starts. Because I don't want to clog up my saves here. Let's do maybe 2 more attempts, and then we'll jump to some route planning in like Coastal Highway or something. Yeah, that one was bad. Okay, hopefully this saved. Low noon, yeah, that looks right. Okay. Desolation. And we select Snowwalker and Cold Fusion. Hey, Illuminati, if you check the description, there's a link to the rules, but the basic idea is that we carry a torch from Desolation Point to Mountain Town. This is a tournament being hosted by Atreyu, and this is my first kind of attempt at it. I don't know if I'm gonna like seriously compete or anything like that. I'm just gonna get some attempts in and see what can be done. Thanks, Maka. Yeah, I watched a lot of Blades streaming this. I got kind of obsessed with it. I Okay, and I think we check. There's oats under there, don't care. There can sometimes be good stuff, and I wonder if there can be something good in there. Yeah, it's the fastest time. I thought about submitting a joke run where I survive for like 100 days and then finish, but it's a big time investment for a minor joke. Boat place can have coffee. You talking about just the cup of coffee that's up the tube? Or are you talking about like in wish I knew where that jerry can spawned. Or are you talking about just looking in like the file cabinets or something like that? Did I grab the stem? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's get out of here. I did check that. Did not take the optimal route down here at all. Oh well. Only a few seconds. Feels like it's much warmer on this run than it was on the last one. I think the last one was pretty windy. Can spawn behind the wood pallet on the last floor before the lighthouse top. Yeah, okay. I remember seeing it there. I couldn't remember if it was on the top floor or if it was on that lower part. So that's good, so I don't have to go up and check the top floor. Here, crows. I think that body might be over there with the torch. Yeah, I see it. We might want to go grab that if we don't find tinder before then. Because the torch can be harvested into a stick for tinder. Alright. Book. Might as well grab the insulated flask. I'm still not sure if that's actually worthwhile, but it's always here, so I guess you might as well grab it if you're coming in here. Another piece of cloth. Not what I'm looking for, but it's something. Looks like we have yet another book. And oh man, I'm getting lost in the dark here. Okay. Let's go over here and grab the coal. And then, what are we looking for up here? Cloth, tinder. There's a hat. Don't throw that on. Nothing in this shelf. Okay, looks like it's all garbage. There can be canned food up here too, right? That's what we decided. I don't know exactly where though, and it's kind of a waste to look for it. Okay, let's just get out of here. Yeah, sorry. I know the delay thing is pretty large with YouTube sometimes. Plus, if you happen to like go back to watch something, then you can be watching on a much bigger delay by accident. On the top floor. Oh, there can be a toque up there? You're not, you're talking about inside or outside? Let's see if we can efficiently go check this, lower part of the trailer here. I don't think it's worth going in the other side. But it might be worth, especially if these jeans are always here. That's like a half degree or so that you just come in and quickly grab. And I don't know, there's probably a chance for there to be some like newspaper or something lying around here. Outside. Yeah, it takes a long time to go in and out. The margins are really tight here. Blade already did this run in 19 hours in-game, which is less than 2 hours real time. And he and I both think that it can be done in probably 16 hours. Close to 16 hours, or maybe even less. So you really don't want to spend a lot of time on things that aren't likely to pay off. Okay, papers are good. And I don't know if these upper drawers can spawn coffee. I guess it doesn't really hurt to check. I don't think they can, but... So I think we've determined that that is the last thing, right? As long as I checked the lockers on the way in, you can basically do that much looting and then quit. Because I know what I need to do if I do find coffee. Yeah, and so I would probably come over here. If there's a torch, I grab it. So I grab this. And then I need to check this table, so I can actually just run down probably directly onto the table. And maybe loot this. And then check the other table. Which maybe... oh, there's two-seater here. That's odd. There's always one. I don't know if I've ever seen two-seater there before. Right, and then we can kind of just check this table, make sure it doesn't have something good on it before going up the tube. Alright. Let's do one more attempt, and then we're going to go just do some, like, route planning in Coastal Highway or Pleasant Valley or something. Hey, Jamie. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Just doing some attempts at this tournament thing. The really rough part of this is even if we find coffee, I would estimate there's still only like a 1 in 5 to 1 in 10 chance that the run actually finishes. Because we also, like, have to just go for it. Like, we can't leave the safety fires and stuff, because if the wind picks up, then you already took too long. Because somebody already has a run with, in fact, multiple people, I think, have runs with perfect weather. So the winning time will have perfect weather with no safety fires. I'm almost certain. Coffee in a cave next to a waterfall. So that's in Pleasant Valley, at Misty Falls Cave, which is too far out of our way. Yeah, it's very limiting, because the reason we want the coffee is to be able to run more, to be able to be fast. But if you have to go too far out of your way for it, then it just completely undoes itself. So you really need coffee that's basically right on the way. I think we grab any sardines we see, because I might want to save with food poisoning at the end of the run. Saves a little bit of time compared to going into the farmhouse. I think that's where the jerry can be. Maybe Mako can let me know. Alright, let's grab this, and then let's get out of here. It can also be like cloth or maybe newsprint on top of those boxes, so that's worth checking for. It's so weird, I never care about tinder, but it's actually a big part of the start of this challenge. I think we want to go over there, so if there's a way down here that's safe and a little bit faster than the other way, let's experiment with this a little bit. It's not too bad, I guess. Unfortunately, we're going right into the wind here, and this looks like it's turning into a blizzard. Yeah. So this run is dead anyway. Okay. Let's go take a look at the route in Coastal Highway, I think, first. And then we'll come back to these. So I'm going to start a new pilgrim run in Coastal Highway. So the idea with these, if you didn't check the link, we have to stop at like a few points, and one of the points we have to stop is at Quonset, and we have to start a fire in this barrel. So kind of the question is, because the next one we have to light after this.
Never
Very
know.
nice.
Could end up being useful.
The next one we have to light after this is at Signal Hill in Pleasant Valley. So what I've been trying to work out is what's the best way to get from the Quonset here up to the transition to Pleasant Valley. I think normally people would go like up there and around, or they'd walk down the path that way and then to that trailer and up around. But I was looking at the map, and actually the straight line route heads pretty much this way. So what I want to do is go up here. And it looks like we need to start from over here and go straight up this way. And then we kind of have to like bear to our right as we're going, but like try to travel in a straight line. So I don't know if we can cut through there. Looks like we need to go straight for now. Kind of experimented with this a little bit, but I couldn't come up with a kind of well-defined route. This seems to be working okay. That kind of cuts the little corner going up around there. And then the question is, do I go up from here? Or do I stay to the left? It almost feels like I wanted to be up there going up, but let's try this for right now. I should be able to get up here, and then follow this along for a little bit. And then probably go up here at our first opportunity. So I'm going to get off of this slope. Yeah, and then we'll go up there, I think. Yeah, this is good, because we're down below the watchtower, so the cabins should be just to my right here. Yeah, and I think now, because there's two paths that lead out of here, now we want to start getting more on that upper path. So we're kind of going in a straight line that doesn't run parallel to all these paths. It runs like slightly to the right, so it crosses all these little paths that run up here on the hillside. And saves a little bit of time that way. And this is the big time save up here. This is the one that I already tested, so I already know how this one, how this part works. I'll try to execute it here. So the this path goes all the way down to that trailer, and then from the trailer you can go up the hill to get to Pleasant Valley. But instead of going all the way down that way, you can cut up here. Yeah, there's the trailer way down there. You can go all the way down there and then back up this way. But what I'm going to do, let's see, we're on flat ground now. Now we're not, so I'm going to start running. And I just need to make this first ledge before I get a sprain. Which looks like I pulled off. Let me go along here. And zigzag up here. And then we just run here. Then we have to get past this little hump. Okay, and there we are. And you see now we're up above that path up to the trailer. So we cut off a huge portion. We basically cut the corner of that triangle. And now we're back to this. I think that's the best route up here, roughly. The first part, like, I think you can adjust exactly where you crisscross up. But I just wanted to get that fresh in my mind in case we have to do it later today. And I guess we can continue from here. Let's keep going. I want to do some experimentation in Pleasant Valley too. Because there's a couple routes through Pleasant Valley. On Pilgrim, you usually spawn with a flare, right? Yeah, let's light this up. And then just to refresh my memory, the stim can spawn there. Or it can spawn... if we want to bear right here, yeah. Or it can spawn here. I think it's like behind... it's either behind that or it's behind this box here. Well, there it is. I didn't actually know it spawned in Pilgrim. And you really hope it's in one of those two places, because otherwise it's in a spot that's kind of annoying to get to, I think. Actually, this might be worth checking. Let me look at this other spot and see if there's a way to get there without backtracking. So we go into this big open room, and then we have to circle around to get up high. It doesn't look like you can easily get this. I don't think you can climb this. Yeah, you actually can. It's funny. I don't think that helps, though. I'm gonna get myself trapped in here. Okay, let's go up and around. See if we can hop across. Hey, Jen. Welcome to the fun. Yeah, so the stim spawns right next to that box there. I wonder if there would be a way. This is like saving like 10 seconds, if that. But you get up here and go along here and then run. Yeah, you can get across. Okay, so that would save me the trip. That would save me essentially walking from this junction. Yeah, this junction here all the way back to there. So barely worth it. And that's only in the 1 out of 3 when the stim spawns over there. Let me just see, how hard is that to do? Is that actually worth doing at all? So you have to come up here anyway. And then you just go up and... Oops, you go... No. You go over here, up, onto this, and across. And you fall. Okay, so that's not good. Unless I can do that reliably and easily, it's not even worth knowing about, because you can just go the other way. Not that much longer. You go up, up, make sure you're... Yeah, see, this is the hard part. You gotta make sure that you actually land on this. And then you run across. Yeah, see, I'm not quite on it at first. And if I start from down here and run, yeah, I'm just gonna fall. Bit annoying. Well, we'll keep it as an option. I mean, it's what, like 15 seconds it saves, maybe? Actually, I guess you save the walk down here too, so it's more like 20, 25 seconds. You save that whole walk, and you save the backtrack there. It could be worth it. Okay. Let's keep going. I want to look at the Pleasant Valley side of things now. Gotta remember to look for this stuff here. Although this is Pilgrim, so the loot spawns don't really mean anything. Okay, so here's where I think there's some unexplored potential science to be done. The first question I have is, what direction do we actually want to travel when coming out of here? There's Thompson's. Looks like going any further left than this line is counterproductive, because there's like a hillside there. But I'm wondering, because this goat is not great and can give you a sprain. And I'm also not even convinced that going through Thompson's is the best route. It's great if you want to loot it, but if you're just looking for the fastest way through, you might be better off trying to go kind of straight along here and stay to the left and not even necessarily join the road. I don't see a good way to go here, though. This is an invisible wall, it looks like. Yeah, I should be able to walk there, but it doesn't want me to. Okay, so we can scratch that plan. Now we're too far down anyway. So we'd be forced to drop here, which didn't damage me, and it does... Yeah, there's another invisible wall here, so they really don't want you doing this. There's no place to stand here that's flat. Yeah, so you're kind of getting a sprain here if you come this way. There's just an invisible wall all along here. Looks like I got past it now, but it's already too late. Okay, so that's definitely out. Yeah, I know. We'll fix these sprains in a second. So then, coming down this slope right here is probably the easiest because it's the... Let me go over here and check that out. There might not be much to gain here, actually. Because you're looking at... Yeah, you're looking at coming down pretty much straight this way. And then from here... Just kind of go in a straight line and see where this takes me out. Hey, Fernando. Welcome in. We are engaging in some silliness currently. Yeah, this takes you out kind of right at the road anyway, and you do get increased movement speed on the road. So I think I'm willing to say that your best bet is to at least... Okay, don't do this. This slows you down a lot. Your best bet is to at least come to this road and take it across. At least I think you get improved movement speed on this. I don't actually feel like I'm going that fast right now. It's probably only a very slight speed boost. The tournament is live, and it has been for a few days now. I think it started September 1st. I'm just kind of... I'm interspersing actual runs with just sort of theory crafting and route planning. Because the real runs basically just involve a lot of restarting for good weather and coffee, so I didn't want to just do like 2 hours of that straight. So right now we're just doing some route planning. We just went through Coastal Highway, and I figured since I was right here at the entrance to Pleasant Valley, we could try some of that too. So I think you go in a straight line until you get to these reishi here. And then because the road curves off to the right here and Signal Hill is more like up there, it's probably better to just cut straight through. Let's experiment with this then. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. I'll try to take advantage of that. So there's a bunch of rocks. We chose to go to the right of the rightmost one. There's Pensive Pond up there. I think we do want to kind of stay down here. How far off the road are we? The road is still curving away to the right. It can't already be Pensive Pond, can it? I thought that was a little bit later on. Yeah, so it's kind of a decision. Do we want to be all the way up there, walking along the high ground, or do we want to be down here, still on the low ground, but to the left of the road? The road is quite far away now, though, right? We're now up above the river. Yeah, the road continues cutting off to the right there. Where do we want to be in terms... We want to cross this river eventually, right? It comes down and maybe does a junction, I think. I don't think we can get through here. This is probably not the optimal route. Kind of going in a straight line towards Signal Hill. Yeah, here's the junction, and we want to cross that other river above the waterfall, I think. Or do we want to just do the crossing down here? Maybe we want to do it down here. There's probably a better way around there that we can research later. Let's keep going. Pensive Pond is like up there now. And I think the two choices we have are either we bear further left and kind of go along the high ground and stay on the high ground the whole way, or we do what I just did here. We stick to the low ground and then we go up the hill just before Signal Hill. When doing this route, though, it's really making me question, how much did we gain? Did we gain much at all by going off the road? Because we do get increased movement speed on the road. Might be another one to test. Like, do a side-by-side comparison of the two. Actually, the more I think about it, maybe if we stay on the upper ground, we never have to deal with this sprain risk of this hill. Because, like, here I have to run, and I'm not even going to make it. I'm almost certainly going to get a sprain going up here. It's a long way to the first flat spot. I could keep running if I had saved more energy. Then you kind of get a flat spot here where you can reset. I mean, coming from the low ground there, we end up doing this big curving path up anyway. If we just started higher up, we'd kind of come along there, maybe. Maybe I'll try this in our next break. I think I'm ready to go back to real runs. I've got at least an idea of how to get up here now. I don't think I'm going to learn... Okay, I want to do one more thing, because I saw Blades have a heavy fog experience here, and I realized that I would have a lot of trouble finding my way from here to the Mystery Lake cave. Hey Ted, welcome in. So I'd be at that fire barrel, I'd come around here, walk out. Now we just have to figure out kind of what my bearings are. So you go in between these two rocks, obviously. Or I say it's obvious, maybe there's a better way around. So we want to end up going... There's that kind of mound where the hill is. So we actually want to be... I wonder if there's a better way through there. By my estimate, we want to be... like following this... Is that right? Following in this line here. Yeah, it looks like it's probably about the same amount, because you have to go around these rocks, either to the right or the left. Okay, let's see if this line is actually right. So there's this huge log here. Does that point the way? Looks like it might. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and there's the rock that hides the cave. Let's keep going, because I want to see if there's a faster... Like, this is the way that we always come, but I think it's important to remember that the well-traveled routes are not necessarily the fastest routes. Like, people go by here because there's a cave, and because there's a deer carcass, and there's mushrooms, and there's the hunter's blind. But those don't necessarily help us at all if we're just trying to get from point A to point B in the fastest time possible. Yeah, because see, walking in that line, I'm significantly up this way from where the actual cave is down there. So that makes me wonder if there's a way to cut across, where we go around the left side and then kind of cut along over here. Yeah, because we basically have to be right here anyway, right? Like, there's no good entrance beyond this right here. I don't think it would ever make sense to go all the way up there. You have to get up to the high ground, and there's not really a good goat here. So you gotta go up and around this way, and then in. Alright, I think I've learned enough. We'll come back and do more of this later. But for right now, I want to get back to real runs. So let's delete, maybe I already did, actually. Now we gotta delete a bunch of this. So this is our practice run. I don't need this one. And these are the attempts that all failed to find coffee. That's from last stream. I guess I'll save that for now. Okay, let's get back to some real attempts here. So custom, interloper, we're gonna start at noon. Desolation Point, email, and we're gonna choose Snowwalker and Cold Fusion. Okay, I think that's everything. And we got the bad spawn, of course. I'll just come back and delete this later, I guess. Yeah, let's just quit. I think it's technically faster to like pass time and lose the run that way, but yeah, I was afraid of that. This is going to be irritating. I don't mind so much having to restart, but having to restart right at the beginning because you get something that can't possibly work is not fun. Like, at least give me a few minutes of looting to verify that there's no coffee. Oh my gosh, 3 in a row. It's probably 50-50, right? So we're just getting really unlucky right now. I don't have a lot of save slots right now, so this is our last attempt before we gotta start deleting them. Could be worse. I mean, before you couldn't even select the time of day. And so you had a lot more spawns. What is this? Wood? Thought it might be tinder at first. Probably not even worth the time to grab that. Okay, let's go up the hill. Hello? Okay. I think that's enough. Slightly windy day. Hopefully it'll calm down while we're looting. Now, I still don't know if this is worth it. It might not be. I guess we'll take the wood and a book. It's worth it. Candy bar we're not going to take. Stim, salty food, something that can be heated. And let's keep going up. This probably isn't worth it. Yeah. I think the boxes, like these, sometimes have really good stuff. Like they can have wool toques. And considering that I'm planning to restart any run that doesn't get coffee, like I think I can afford to take a chance and try to get some nice items. And that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Gotta remember the lockers and the jerry can are on the same level. So once I've checked that, I'm basically done. I can go and leave. Alright, let's get out of here. And I think we decided that going immediately this way is pretty good, right? Yeah. Maybe kind of bear to the left to get down that part quickly, and then curve over this way. Okay, good enough. Oh my gosh, this wind. Is it any better traveling this way? Nah, it's just awful. That's running. By the time I get there, I can already have another attempt. The problem with the wind is if there's wind, then it's very likely that that wind later blows out my torch anyway. So I might as well do an attempt that does not have wind. Maybe I should just filter them at the start, though, if I'm already going to do that anyway. Let's rename this. Okay, 4 out of the last 5 have been up here. Absolutely fine. Eventually we'll get a string of good luck. I guess the first couple attempts went pretty well. I think I spawned here once and then got a few in a good row. It's that human negativity bias coming out in me. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but... Alright. I kinda wish there was a place to jump off here. The problem is you can't hit escape to pause the game to be able to quit for like the first 5 seconds or so. And the passing time thing is pretty good, but it takes so long. I'd rather just wait a second and then delete the save later. Desolation, snow, and cold fusion. Alright, game. How far away are we? Really far. I don't know, actually, since I'm going up to the lighthouse first anyway, I mean, how far is it really? It probably puts me back, like, 2 to 3 real-time minutes, I'd say. It's almost not even about the time, it's the energy. Like, there's just more energy that I need to worry about running out of my coffee. Okay, Snow Walker and Cold Fusion. Sorry about the grind here. Oh my goodness. Okay, we can't get up there anyway. And I think that means we need to delete saves now. Yep, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So after we get a couple of attempts in, I already tested a couple of routes going into Milton. Need to do some further testing on Pleasant Valley. Oh, I want to test the Mystery Lake coming from the dam. There's, like, you can follow the train tracks, and that's pretty good, but I think you might be able to take the high ground just to the left of there, and it might be slightly faster, plus you get birch bark. I don't know if that's necessary, but it's something to think about. I mean, if it's faster, then it's kind of a no-brainer, although there might be a sprain risk. This is the amount of restarting we have to do just to get the right spawn location. Then there's the weather and the coffee on top of that. Seriously? Is that 6 in a row? What's 0.5 to the 6th power? 1 over 32, so like 3% or something. Hey, Loons. Welcome in. You've come at a bad time because I'm probably showcasing exactly why you wouldn't enjoy doing this tournament. A lot of restarting to get the right starting conditions. Loons, are you still doing your you know how you brought back that 4-year-old run where you were doing the mods Relentless Night, I think, and all that? Are you still doing that? I haven't looked in a long time. What is going on? Just can't get the other spawn. There's only 2 spawns. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, if anybody wants to check that out, Loons is doing this run. It's Relentless Night. I don't know too much about the mod, but I think the main thing is the days keep getting longer. Well, and I guess the nights keep getting really long, and then eventually after 100, it's just night all the time. And I think there's some other mods in there that change some of the animal behaviors and stuff. Alright, let's see if we can get this. No Walker and Cold Fusion. Yeah, tournaments like this really should be made to start in a region that only has 1 spawn point. 8 in a row. If we play long enough, we'll eventually get 8 of the good starts in a row. Did I do that right? Are we on custom? Custom, make sure the settings are right. Okay. Desolation. Here we go. I kind of messed this up. I gotta get off of this before I get a sprain. Okay, we made it. Probably got a little bit lucky there. Oh, that killed like 5 seconds off the run. Just all that getting stuck on the ledge. So yeah, for those of you who just got here, we're kind of interspersing attempts at the actual tournament with just random theory crafting and route planning type stuff. I did some runs through Coastal Highway and Pleasant Valley to kind of see what the shortest way was to get from point to point. And now we're doing actual tournament attempts. Unfortunately, and this is just my opinion, you don't have to treat this as fact. My opinion is that the winning run will find coffee in this region. Which means if I start and I don't find coffee, I don't really see the point in continuing that run. Because, like, sure, I could find, like, 2 or 3 tins of coffee later. But it's so much time invested. It's like an hour when it only takes like 5 or 10 minutes to just loot the region, see if you get coffee, and then restart. Okay. Now I'm wasting time, though, because I don't need to come up here at all. That's where the jerry can be right there. So if it's not there, we just go back down. I would love to see a speedrun tournament like this, where instead of starting from the beginning of the game, what you do is you spawn in, and then you get either as much time as you want, or maybe like a week or so, to just kind of get established, find as much clothing, coffee, tea, stems, whatever you want really. And then you save the game, note the time, and then you do your mad dash from one spot to the other. Because that would take away all of this RNG spawn spamming type stuff. I have no idea what this weather is. It's like heavy fog, but with snow. I don't think I've ever seen this weather type before. Maybe this is like converting from one to the other. I'd love to see fog. Okay, so there's a couple of things we need to check in here. There can be a body there with a scarf. It's not there today. I'm going to check this crate and we'll grab the flask at the same time. And then, let's see, we check the filing cabinet. And a potential... what's in there? Book. We'll take that. Okay, we'll check in here because we could find tinder or cloth, or I've seen a can opener along here. I think you can get cans in here, but I don't know where they are, and I never seem to find them, so I'm just going to leave. Yeah, the other thing is the ideal run for this relies on so much because ideally you'd use Celestial Navigator, the new feat that gives you a speed boost at night when you have a clear sky. So the ideal run, you'd have the coffee RNG, you'd have the weather RNG, right? Because to carry the torch, you need clear weather. These are always here, so I think it's worth coming in here for these. Because we're not going to find any other pants on this run. I guess we check these containers if they're here.
I think I can use this.
Gloves are not the worst thing. They're bad condition, but... Right, so you've got the coffee, you've got the wind RNG, because you need no wind for the whole run, basically. Then you've got the clear night, which I don't have to worry about because I don't have that feat, so I'm just going to play without it. And then you've got minor things like finding accelerant or tinder in certain spots can give you a bit faster of a run. I guess I'll take those for the warming up buff. Okay, we'll check this. Then I think all we do is we check these couple of coffee spots, and if we don't find coffee, it's just restart time again. I didn't really think about it, but it's such a small chance. I think, according to what Blade said, it's if you find an item, there's a 5% chance that it's coffee. And we're only checking 12 total file cabinet drawers, plus like 2 of these and maybe 3 lockers, so maybe 15 to 20 total containers. So we're only going to find like 3 or 4 items per run. And 1/20th of the time that item is coffee. So what are we looking at? Let's say it's 3. Well, let's say it's 4 because the math is easier. So if we find 4 items per run and each one is... So 1 out of every 5 runs, roughly, would even have coffee available. I don't know. It might even be lower than that if my finding 3 to 4 items math is wrong. Like, it might be closer to 2 items and it's 1 out of every 10 runs that you get coffee. I'm going to do one more and then we'll do some more theory crafting stuff because this is getting a little old. And let's just see. We're on, which attempt are we on here? 10 bucks too. Okay, so we got 2 more after this. Okay, at least we got a good spawn. Let's go around here. This goat is one of the jankiest goats to have to do over and over again. Like, so many little ledges and spots to get stuck. There's some question, actually, about whether the lighthouse is even worth it. This is looking like a blizzard. I mean, we definitely got wind, right? So it's just a restart. Yeah, it's picking up. Don't want to waste time. Yeah, Loons, the worst part about it is that very first part. I'll show you in a second if we get the spawn again. But you kind of have to edge around the corner to gain a little bit of height, and then you can go. But it only works if you do that exact move at the start. There's an easier way up. There's like 3 or 4 different ways up. This is just the one that I found first, and it just so happens that it's the one that you spawn right by if you get the right spawn. Stupid game. Decent chance of coffee spawn in a bigger Hibernia trailers. Ooh. That would be huge. Are you talking about the one with all the connecting stuff? Like all the connected together stuff? Oh, I forgot to point out the part. But I'm sure you know what I mean. I think I show it in that one video. There's certain goat techniques that are just kind of a pain to pull off. And those are definitely some of my less favorite goats because of how tricky they are. Although I do really like that one I found recently. I don't know if you saw the one where you can shortcut around to get into the warden's area in the Blackrock prison.
Nobody needs this anymore.
I really like that goat. It's just cool that you can get back there so quickly. Spray paint is junk. Okay, so stim. Warming up buff. Nothing else here. And then this is the final level up here, right? Because this is where the jerry can be. Yeah, okay. So I just have to remember not to go beyond here, so I don't waste time. There's the recipe. Quality tools can spawn here? Huh. That must, okay. Interesting. I wonder if that's a custom glitch. I've never seen that before. So, Ted, keep an eye out. If you know exactly where that spawn is, I'm going to ask you to help me identify it. Because I know those coffee spawns are relatively rare. So, I'd like to know where to look. That could be huge, though, because it doesn't take that long to check. And then that would give me another source. Like, even if it only spawns 1 in 10 times, that would mean I'd have twice as many runs where I start with coffee. I think we have another bad weather start here. I made it this far. This could clear up. We'll give it a chance. I think the ones that'll be the most painful are the ones where I go in and just get like accelerant and all this great loot and 2 tins of coffee and we're all set to go, and then the wind picks up and the run is over. I think that's going to be morale breaker. Yeah, Loons, there's definitely ways to kind of cheat, especially like if you stream the run. I don't think, right, like it's going to be pretty obvious what you're doing, but for a pre-recorded run it's probably possible to cheat. Although that kind of cheating is detectable by statistical analysis, if it's blatant enough. Like, you can prove that something is so unlikely that it would essentially never happen before the heat death of the universe. Now this wind. I refuse to walk into the wind like this because it takes like 8 hours to get there. And then the wind is probably going to blow my torch out later anyway. Like, at least if you're not going into the wind, then you can like quickly get over there, see if you might have a run, and then maybe it'll clear up later. Alright, we're going to do max 4 more attempts here, or the first one that we actually get a start on, and then we will switch over to route planning for a bit. Just to vary things up a bit. Yeah, I think we'll go do that Mystery Lake route planning. I think that's the next thing to do before we go back to Pleasant Valley. But this looks great so far. We go up here, go around, and then it's this little bump up that you get. That's the part that you have to make sure you get. And then you have to get off of this slope before you get a sprain. No, I messed it up. Get off the slope. Now, sprained wrist is not the end of the world. Except I think we have to listen to her all game now. That's okay. It'll probably be a bad run anyway. If we get like 2 coffee and everything works out perfectly, I'll just save the game and go into the options and disable voice for a bit. Okay, check this. I guess we're still checking this. I think these might be able to spawn coffee, which is the only reason I'm checking it, really. It could spawn clothing, too. Okay. Food, salt, and stim. Keep going. Check this just because we're here. I'm wondering if I should check those 6 drawers at the start, too. There can be clothing in there, or maybe cloth. We don't need leather. No jerry can. Okay. I guess she's not complaining about that sprain. Maybe it's only the ankle that they keep complaining about it. from walking. We want to go down this way. And I'm starting to realize what I'm in for here, because I think, based on what I've seen so far, I would estimate roughly that it's 1 in 10 runs that even have the weather. Where you don't get high winds for the whole run. And then it's probably 1 in 10 runs where you get coffee at the start. So we're already talking about 1 in 100 for the... just to get a run that's possible. And then, let's see, what else can go... Well, I guess that's it, really. Like, if you get those two things, then you're golden.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
But the variance would be so high. Like, you could get it pretty much on your first try or two. Like, I guess even... Like, if you don't look at anything else, if you look at Blade's PB run, the one he got on day 1 of the tournament, he got 19 hours, 1 minute, which we both agree you can do way better than that. But if you just look at, like, what luck he got, he did get the ideal weather plus coffee in Hibernia spawn. So, like, you could get it the first day, or you could, you know, have to try 200 times and not get it until, like, 2 months from now. Just comes down to luck.
I can't feel my hands.
I've always thought the weather was somewhat deterministic, even between region changes, and between those save rolls, but I don't actually know enough about it. Okay, Ted, I'm in secret trailer here, so I'm gonna loot this, and then I'll come out and enter the... Oh, the jeans aren't here this time. Okay, so I guess they're not a guaranteed spawn. But yeah, if you know where that coffee is, I'll kind of ask you. Okay, so now we click the top of the door and we go back in, and now we should be in the main trailer area. Okay, so this is not even the edge of it. So if we go to this edge... So usually when coffee is in trailers, it's on a shelf, so it could be like on that double shelf, or it can be in one of these little locker, open locker type things. It could be on this double shelf. Probably wouldn't be in there. It could be in this tilted locker. So it's probably in like one of those places. It could also be on this horizontal shelf. So if any of those look like where you think the coffee spawns, just let me know and I'll make sure to check that every run. I don't know, I guess I could check the whole trailer every run, but it seems like it would slow me down a lot. Apparently we have to run around here. Those are locked. That's dog food, is no good. And also, it's been so long since I found coffee in a locker. I'm not even sure it's not a figment of my imagination. So those might not really be worth checking either. So we have tinder. And we have accelerant. It's really good if we find our coffee. But no coffee. Okay, so I think we're done here. Yeah, there's a few things we can check in here, but none of them can spawn coffee, so that's it. All right, let's go do our experiments in Mystery Lake, I guess. Get rid of that. Okay, so if we start a new Pilgrim game, I'm just going to look at the world map for a second here. So I kind of know my route through Desolation, and we experimented with Coastal. I've got more work to do in Pleasant Valley. So I think the first place that things open up is Mystery Lake after we exit the dam. We have to go to the dam because we have to light the fire barrel in there. Bear with me one second. I've got a pop-up telling me to update Firefox for some reason. Okay, I think I've taken care of that. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so we have to go to the dam, and it's really going to be either down the train tracks. Wait, where is the... If this is the main lake, and the river comes in here, yeah. We're going to either go down the train tracks, but you can see this is not a straight line. The straight line would be... the dam is basically at the intersection here. So the straight line would be like this, cutting across the lake. But that's not possible because of these hills behind Camp Office. So I think the best we can do is as straight of a line as we can, adjacent to the river and kind of along the edge of the high ground here, and then along the tracks. I think that'll be better than going straight down the tracks. Just as long as we can get like a decent straight path along those hills. So that's what I want to experiment with now. I guess we'll just use the same feats. Why not? Did I choose Mystery Lake? I don't remember choosing Mystery Lake. Oh yeah, because we were looking at the map. I think we want to go this way to get to the logging camp. And then I'll take this high ground across to the tracks. Uh-oh. Okay, we are on flat ground now. Let's actually go back to that flat ground for a second. If I can find it. Yeah, pass time and recover our stamina. Okay, so here's the tracks. I think we'll go all the way to the dam. Because there is another trailer coffee spawn here. It's pretty rare, but I'm going to see if I can incorporate it. Yeah, Loons, I remember that one because you started... There were several transitions because you started in Camp Office and you basically walked all the way down to Ravine and through the ravine and all the way at least to that bridge, because I remember you were getting that thing where the bridge with the music, that was about when your blizzard kicked in. See, this is what I mean. If you look at where the track goes, there's like a big curve to the right at the dam here, so you could cut that off just by going down there and then back up that way. You could even just like go just to the left of the yellow train car and just take the train tracks, and that would already be shorter. People don't realize I've seen lots of people, like, it's very easy to feel that the intended path is straight when it is not. Like, even just the train tracks themselves, if you're not really thinking about it, the train tracks just feel kind of straight, but they're not. There's this huge curve in it. And so taking the train tracks from the dam to the camp office is not actually the shortest route. The one without the bed. Oh, I've always found it in the one with the bed. So let's go inside for a second. Oh, we're on Pilgrim, so we're not going to learn much from this. But my experience, and this is recent experience, definitely within the last, like, 2 years, so this is, like, post-TFT FT experience, is that there can be a can of food right here, and rarely, instead of a can, it's a tin of coffee. So that's the loose coffee spawn that I know of in here. And that's easy to check, right? Because you just come in the door, go like this. You see if it's coffee because it's got that distinctive orange shape, and then you immediately leave. I guess you could check this for a bandage if you're short on bandages. So you're saying there's a coffee spawn in here too? Like a potential one? For sure before DLC patch. Yeah. So it probably got changed. Hey Maka, sounds good, yeah. Feel free to just kind of hang out and... Okay, so there's at least coffee on Pilgrim. I wonder... This is probably a Pilgrim only thing, because I've never found coffee in a crate on Loper anywhere. I do feel like there's a few spawns, like, in here. There can be, like, a can of soup or something. And maybe that could get replaced with coffee. Like, when they place these things, like this, they probably have a few items. Just like the jerry can occasionally be quality tools instead. At that one spot. I don't know. The thing is, the only way I know to test this, there's probably much better ways, but the only way that I know is to just start like 50 Loper games in this region and come check to see if there's coffee every time, and I just don't really feel like doing that kind of a test. Alright, so let's think about this. So you come from here, and then either we're going to check that trailer for coffee or not. But either way, I'm basically headed that way. So I go down this way. See, I'm hesitant because I'm already not taking a straight line path, but this has to be better than the bridge, right? Like, you can see the bridge kiting off to the right here. I'm going in the direction that I want to be going now, which is, like, more towards camp office. And this also takes me past the birch bark spawn. So basically there's... Oh, this is good, because there's... How many more fires are there after this? I guess it's... We already did the dam fire, so it's really just poachers and then the last one. So I guess if you were, like, out of tinder, you could pick up some cattails or some free birch bark here. Just to have tinder for poachers, because there's not really another good tinder source. Yeah, Loon's South River, I don't think is any faster than the railroad, because they're both curved paths. The railroad comes out straight and then curves to the left and then goes down to the camp office. The problem with the river is it brings you down so far into the lake. So, you know, if you're crazy and you live in a fishing hut, then it's perfect. I can tell you that from experience. But if you live in camp office, then it's not worth it, really. So I think up here is flat ground. Yeah, so you can run You can run that stretch. Let's just do that again. So you're kind of coming in a line. I'm looking basically straight at the trailers right now. And the bridge and the dam beyond it. So unfortunately you can't come directly up this. But you can basically loop around this little rock. And then I think you can go straight up here. Let's try this again. I'm going to wait for the sprain risk. There it is. Let's see if we can clear this. Yeah, that was about 10 seconds, so it's like barely possible to clear it with no chance of a sprain. And then we've still got... Yeah, this terrain is all kind of nasty in here. There's a clear spot. Then we're going to have to run this. I guess the real question here is this path curved enough that it would be better to just be on the railroad? Because from here we can go pretty straight, I think. Problem is the navigation. You gotta learn exactly where you want to be. There's actually more birchbark up here too, so if you were like really hurting for health, you get like 3 birchbark back there, 3 here, and make a couple of teas to heal yourself a little bit. I don't think health is going to be that big of a deal on this run though. Now if you go up that way, you end up over by Lake Overlook Cave, and that's also way too far to the left. So I'm kind of trying to hug to this right-hand side. So there's the railroad down there. Honestly, we might have to just do like a side-by-side comparison. Do one run walking along the rail, and then one running along here. Found coffee quite often in the dam, both while going down to Winding River and while checking the office on the top floor. Yeah, so here's the thing about looting the dam. You're pretty likely to find coffee in the filing cabinets there because there's so many of them. But so my basic philosophy for a speedrun like this is you have to get a certain amount of luck to get the best time or to get a really good time. And so if you start out and you loot an area and you don't get lucky, and then you loot another area and you don't get lucky, and you loot another area and you don't get lucky, and then you loot your 4th area and you get really lucky, that is always much slower than the player who started and got lucky the first time. Like a lot slower. So in a sense, it's not even worth it to loot anything once you leave Desolation Point. Like maybe a few minor things. But you need so little for this run. Like a few scraps of clothing would be nice. And some coffees. And that's it. So you really just need to get lucky with the coffee. And my view is, because every looting instance takes time, the person who only does 1 looting instance and gets 1 or 2 coffees is going to be so much faster than the person who does 3 or 4 or 5 looting instances and gets a couple of coffees. Yeah, I got you. I feel like I need to justify it because I've noticed a lot of people talking about, you know, oh, it's not so bad if you find coffee here, or if you get, you know, you can always get the coffee later. You don't immediately need to respawn. And like, yeah, that's true. If you just like, if you're just gonna finish and you want to be like within an hour or 2 of the top times, then that's fine. I think there's a coffee spawn in Camp Office too. Let me think about this. We didn't get a sprain, did we? Where did we spawn? I can redo this if we go back to the trailer, because I didn't get any sprains. That's why I'm not going in Camp Office, because I don't want the save. Let's reload that. And I'm thinking about timing this. Let's see. Alright, first things first, I'm going to take a very, very, very brief break here, just like 10 seconds, just to get a drink of water. I'll catch up on chat. I always forget to drink water. I always bring like a full cup of water with me. I have it ready so that when I stream, I can get a drink, but I always forget to drink it. So I stream for like 3 hours, and at the end of it, I'm just parched. So I'm gonna drink some water. Okay. Feeling quite a bit better after drinking some water. Um, Mako, I didn't know you did speedruns. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, Archivist. Wow, that sounds miserable. Because that one you just need RNG auroras, right? Like you run all over the map and you need... Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Did you do this post TFT? Or is this pre-TFT? Because at least with the tails, you can force an aurora. So like you could like I'm guessing because you probably need two nights to get everything. So you could like RNG the first night and then force it with the or do you not get the tails content in the challenges? I don't know. I'm actually really curious about this. Okay, so it was pre anyway. Loons, I'm just seeing your comment from before. It's a question of whether the climbing time is worse than the slightly wider circle time. Climbing time. So are you talking about going up that hill? Because the thing about going uphill, if this is what you were talking about, I'm not sure if this is what you meant. The thing about going up this hill here is, like, you're slightly slower going uphill, but you're also slightly slower or slightly faster going downhill. So, depending exactly on what the slopes are involved, then it might not be too bad. Yeah. The thing is also, even just this little cutoff here, like you can see if you just come straight from the dam down here, and then you walk across, you can just follow this straight. And that already cuts off a huge bend of the railway. I mean, I say huge. It's probably like, if you measured that route versus this one, the difference would probably be like 20 seconds, maybe 30 real lifetime. But I mean, it is a speed run that takes well under 2 hours to complete, so 30 seconds is quite a bit. So yeah, if you didn't want to do the uphill thing, you'd just walk along here. Let me just do some running because it's faster. You'd come along here, and does this let you through, or do you have to go around that rock? I think this lets you through. Yeah, so you're still cutting, like, even after this, you're still cutting off a significant amount, because now you can go in a straight line to that rock, or you could even walk along here. So I think there's several arguments to be had here. Let me just check this out some more, because this might even be better than the other route, because you don't have to worry about sprains and sprain risk. If there's like a clean way up here, and you can cut the final corner off. That doesn't look great. Let's try this. This doesn't look great either. I think you just drop down here and then finish it out. Yeah, this is not ideal at all. But still probably a little bit faster than going around to the right. And I don't think you bother going up there. You just come through here. And then you're basically back at the tracks. Yeah, I think it would take a side-by-side comparison to really get a feel for this. I'm going to do one more on the high ground and just try to optimize it and see what it feels like. Then we'll have to come back with like a timer. Also, one of the big reasons I'm doing all of this testing is because it's not really like, I'm not trying to win or anything. I would like to see somebody get a really fast time. Like, I'd love to see somebody do this in sub 15 hours. I think it might be possible. It might take, it might be more like sub 16 or just over 16. But I think there's a lot of options to get this done really fast. And I figure if I get in here early and showcase some of these straight line routes with some of the goats that you can do, then other people can start to implement those into their runs. Like if somebody who's doing this run a lot, like Blades, or I think Nuka is doing it, and then other people start to see that, and then it could spread like that, then we might see some pretty fast times. Yeah, the record time is 19 hours, 1 minute, and that's Blades. And he and I have talked about this quite a bit, and we both kind of agree that sub 17 is definitely possible. And I think we agree that sub 16 might be possible. Yeah, so there I forgot to sprint the whole way. That's the other risk of taking this route, is that you may end up needing extra bandages if you mess this up. So I think actually the other route, because this has a lot of spots where you have to like find the right spot, because I'm on a slope here, but if I step right here, then I get a brief sprain reprieve, which resets that timer. And then I've got to kind of coast along here, and I got to reset on this. So there's just a lot of like little fiddly stuff to this route. Whereas if you just cut off that corner from before and then kind of follow the low ground, that's already pretty good. The only real advantage to coming up here is you avoid the wolves and you get the birch bark. I don't think it's that much shorter, especially when you factor in the need to avoid the sprains. What about going up to the map survey point? No, so the issue with the map survey point, like you mean going around that side and going down by the cave, lake overlook? That's too far to the left. So you end up like way out in the middle of the lake. Let's go down here. Honestly, Ted, I am 100% fine with that. I love, there's this great video by M Sushi on Portal 2 speedrunning. Hang on a second. I gotta, thanks, Loons. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Everybody make sure to go out and check out Loons' channel if you don't already know him. I'm sure most people here probably already know his stuff. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, there's this great video by, there's actually a few, but the one I'm thinking of, M Sushi talks about the Portal 2 map speedrunning on, I'm trying to remember the name of the level. It's the level where you step on the faith plates and GLaDOS makes fun of your weight several times in a row. But it's just a really interesting account of the gradual improvements that were made to that over and over and over again. And I just love that aspect of it because you've got the kind of theory crafters. There's a name for them in the speedrunning lingo. I forget what it is, but they're like the tech people. They, work on the technology that's used. And then there's the runners who need the, like, not only do they need the skill to actually do all the moves, but they also need an unbelievable amount of patience. And that's what I think I probably just don't have for this type of challenge. I just don't have the patience. So I'm perfectly happy to be the tech guy who looks for the cool routes and then, let somebody else do the grind. That's fine with me. All right, let's, because I think I got a good enough idea now. Let's go back and do some attempts. Gotta delete some stuff first. Oh, it's just the test. Okay, that's fine. I'll get rid of this because we got the sprain. We can just make a new one later. And yeah, I knew this was going to happen, right? I knew we were going to have a run, or we were going to have a stream where I had a bunch of failed attempts due to not finding the coffee. And that's just the nature of it, unfortunately. I'll probably do the opposite of what some other people suggested. And like if I don't get a run eventually, then maybe I'll do a slower run where I just accept any RNG. All right, let me focus for a second, get all the stuff set up here. I just don't want to put time into a run that doesn't have like some decent starting effects until I know that I just don't have the patience to do it anymore. Did I? I think I messed this up. Let's go back. I'm going to do new custom, and then I've got to set up the... This actually looks right, but I'm just going to redo it. Okay, so we're going to custom interloper. We're setting this to new. Okay. Let's make sure I'm on the right stats. It might have been right before. This curse always spawning here. I almost want a mod that, like, force quits. Because it's not really cheating if you use a mod to throw away your run, right? Because that's not actually part of the run. So you could just have, like, a one-button force quit to, like, instantaneous force quit. And that would cut out, right? Like I could just press it and we'd instantly be back at the main menu. Saves like 10 seconds of menu navigation and waiting for load screens. Let's go ahead and get rid of these while I'm here. Yeah, Ted, I completely understand what you mean, and yeah, I know it's not. I can see how it'd be like there could be like minor frustration, or it could just be like something that you kind of chuckle inwardly at, right? That as soon as you get a time, somebody else comes back and uses your exact technique to get a slightly better time. "50-50" means either it happens or it doesn't. You know, it does. I almost want to test the RNG for this game, to see if it's streaky. So you know how there's like always the arguments about the fire starting chance, and how it can't possibly be right because you get all these things where you fail the 80% chance like 4 times in a row. Um, and while I don't think that there's anything wrong with the RNG, right? Like I do think that it gives you the chance that it says it does overall. I've wondered if it's possible that it's programmed in a streaky way, so you're like more likely to get long stretches of fails or successes in a row, but still you have that chance overall. It'd be interesting to test it. I don't know how you would test that. It takes so long. Maybe like just looking at the source code directly would be the only way to do it with any degree of sanity. Yeah, that was a pretty smooth climb up here. And the weather's pretty nice. We're only at a quarter temp down, entering the lighthouse here. Okay, should I check those drawers? Let's do it, just for a change of pace. Check these 6 drawers, see if we get lucky with some clothing.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Wires. Hey, newsprint. I didn't know that newsprint was a spawn from those drawers. That actually makes me want to check them now. Because, like, now we're looking for 2 different items, newsprint and or clothing. They're both kind of nice. What? Is this right? It is the interloper loot. Yeah, we're getting interloper loot. Never seen a ski jacket there before. Is that just like an incredibly rare spawn, or? Well, that makes coming to the... it does feel like there's a little bit more loot than usual. I don't know. I mean, some of it is just luck. Like, sometimes you go in an area and it actually does have some good stuff. Okay, let's get out of here. No boots. I think this might be pre-TFT that you could get boots down there. I think this is blizzarding. Okay. There's no wind, though. It's possible we're just transitioning to fog. Light fog. Missed accelerant on a upper corner of a shelf. That's unfortunate. I mean, I'm not going back for it now, but... So this was the... Was this the metal shelf? Just keep it in mind for next time, I guess. I've been thinking about if I don't find the jerry can in the lighthouse, which seems like it's going to be the case most of the time. I've been thinking about whether it's worth it to check the What's it called? Sorry, 1 second. Gotta focus on... Okay, now we're in a looting spot. Right, that's what I was trying to say.
Take it.
Whether it would be worth it to check the safe. Because the safe does take quite a while to loot. But it can give you... can give you accelerant in the form of gunpowder. Occasionally. And then, you know, there's always the chance you find like a Mackinac or... I can't remember if you can get combat pants. I don't think you can get combat pants from the safe. I think it's mostly just the Mackinac. Let's try going around this way. I want to see if this feels... Yeah, this feels like it has to be faster. I don't know why I kept going around the other side. Ted, this was a while ago, but we were... Or, you might not be here anymore. You might be watching back. I don't know if you ever said exactly where you thought the coffee was in this one trailer. Let's see, we have Tinder. Let me just see. Okay, so we're at 158 on my live timer. I want to see how long it takes to check in here. Let's just do like the total thing. So that's this, and then we go out and we go in the top. We've already spent like 15 to 20 seconds. And then I guess we go through here. What am I looking for? So we get a book. I mean, there's a few items that we could potentially find in here, right? Tinder, books, cloth. And the elusive coffee, of course. We're already at nearly a minute spent, 45 seconds. By the time we get out here, it's like... Yeah, it's like spending almost a minute. So that's an example of it being worth it to check lockers, even if you don't get coffee. Okay, thanks, Ted. Top of a shelf next to bed. All right. Did you hear my question, or were you looking back? I thought you might have been like looking back on the stream, so you would have missed it. Gonna bother with that shirt. Okay. Now, are there any? No, there's nothing in here worth searching for coffee. So we're still in the mode where we just search these file cabinets and those drawers. Yeah, I was just asking if you, because I might have missed your chat from before. I was asking if you had ever said where you thought the coffee was in the mega trailer, the one that's like 3 or 4 trailers all connected. If you had noticed it in a specific spot in there. I missed a lot of chat this stream. I think I'm going to go back and read all of it after the stream is over. Just to make sure I didn't miss any important messages. Alright, let's give this a couple more tries. It's definitely demoralizing. Especially since it's like every time I find a single item, it's like a 5% chance to just have a run that I can play. Just gotta get lucky. Because I think between Signal Hill, trailer, and camp office, it's very likely that we find a second tin of coffee, right? Like at some point down the road. So just getting that first tin for sure. puts us in a spot where, like, we're very likely to have 2 tins. On one of the shelves. Okay. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I know it's like, it's a very odd question to have to know exactly where something was. So I'm thinking about closing out the stream in like half an hour or so. Out of everyone here, would you guys be more interested in seeing me attempt to get a start going? Or would you be more interested in doing a little bit further route planning? Like, I know it can be a bit frustrating watching the start attempts, is the reason I'm asking. Oh my goodness. I can't with these spawns. It's just... It's like every time I start a run, I have to win like 4 checks. And I'm failing on the first one like 80% of the time, it seems like. And this is the easiest one to get. It's the 50-50. Yeah, because we got to get the right spawn location. We got to have low wind at the spawn. We got to get the coffee. And then the most annoying part, perhaps, is that then we have to have no wind for the rest of the run. All those things have to go right, and we can't even get the first one. Okay. Let's do this. I definitely completely understand the mentality now for anyone who's like, well, I'm not just going to re-roll because I didn't find coffee in the first region. Because at least you get to play. Maybe we'll do, next time I stream, maybe we'll do like 10 attempts and then just do a run, regardless of RNG. I kind of wonder now. They must mess with this stuff all the time, right? Because I remember when BlackRock first came out, I wanted to do an interloper run there, just to kind of do the challenge where you learn the map completely blind. And I got the spawn the very first try. And then I got it a few times after that as well. I'm wondering how often they go in and change the spawn chances. Because I think whenever they release a new region, they do make it more likely to spawn there. But who knows, maybe that's like selection bias. Or, what do you call it when it's based on like your preconceived notions? Why can't I think of this term? This is going to really bother me. It's the one where you, like, if you go looking for news, like if you look at 3 news articles, you're more likely to remember and give more heed to the one that already agrees with your viewpoint. I just can't think of the term for that. Okay, it feels like I'm doing something wrong at this point. Let's quit to the main menu. Let's delete the saves. Let's start a new custom and, like, reset all the things. It probably will make no difference, but just... New, custom, set it to interloper, set this to noon. Okay. Desolation. Oh. We could look at that and say, oh, that was the problem, I just needed to do that, but don't really think that's the case. Okay. Got that without a sprain. We'll do the drawers again. Why not? Probably adds a total of like 15 seconds. And we got underwear. That's nice. And newsprint. And matches early is actually kind of cool, because I no longer need to make sure I find them in Hibernia. This is like the dream interloper start, finding all that stuff right at the start. I don't think we need maple syrup. Let's go upstairs. Shelf, spray paint. Let's check these lockers. No jerry can. I'm actually wondering if the jerry can still spawns. I don't think... did Blades find it once, maybe? Maybe he did. I don't remember now. If the jerry can can't spawn in here, it actually makes this place a lot less likely to be useful. I forgot to look for accelerant. I mean, it's pretty unlikely to spawn anyway, but... Okay, let's get over here. I did put the underwear on. What was the other item I found? Newsprint. Okay. So the file cabinets, the coal, this. And we've definitely found accelerant on the ground over there, so I should look there too.
I think I can use this.
Mittens aren't bad. Can there be... it's not worth checking. Newsprint. Okay, so it's good to know that there can be newsprint there. There's also the thermos here. No torch on the beach this time. That torch is probably not worth it. Unless, I guess maybe if I have 0 tinder by this point, it might be worth it to go out of my way to get the torch. Because the torch needs to be broken down to a stick before it can be harvested for tinder. And as soon as I leave Hibernia, I'm going to go someplace where I can get sticks.
Starting to feel numb.
I'm going to continue experimenting with this trailer. Just to see if it's ever, like, really worth it. Like, imagine if there can be a coffee spawn there. Because we already know that in at least one case, a potential canned food spawn can be a coffee spawn. And I should probably be picking up those reclaims. Just because it's a few extra degrees on my fire.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Bandage is well worth it. I can save a lot of crafting time later. Nice thing about the coffee is it like really stands out. That bright orange tin. Pretty hard to miss if it exists in the world. Okay, so I think we don't need to check this last crate, do we? Or this last shelf. We just leave at this door when we get here.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do.
Okay. In Hibernia, check a couple of last loot spots, and... Hey, Nina. Welcome in. Dog food, that. We already have matches. Look, I guess I'll take these in case I'm misremembering. We're gonna have to drop them later, though. Locker, did I check these? No, okay. Check these, then we'll check the filing cabinets and the drawers. I think you do have to just kind of have a Zen approach to this, right? Like it's... You don't have a run until you actually see that coffee. So you're kind of just, you know, chilling out. Running across, checking all the things. And then when you see that coffee, that's when you hit the go button. Yeah, so there's a link to the Google Doc in the description, but if you just want the basic rundown, you spawn in Desolation Point. You start a fire at the fire barrel, and then you have to transport that fire with torches to 5 other fire barrels throughout the game, ending in Mountain Town at the farm. And it's just, you know, fastest person to do that wins. So I'm taking an idealist approach to this where it's like a winning run will have to be sufficiently lucky. So I'm just kind of throwing away any run that doesn't get that luck in the first region. Like you need coffee, so you might as well find it in the first region, so you don't have to like do a ton of attempts where you go halfway through the game and still don't find your coffee. But there's a lot of ways to play this, and you can just also play it for fun, just to get a run on the board, not necessarily trying to go for the fastest possible time. I think we'll continue doing these. The chance for tinder and clothing is too good to pass up. Oh, I think we have combat boots. I think that's what I saw on the floor. Combat boots plus a thin wool sweater early? No. False alarm. I don't know why I thought those were combat boots. Okay, let's check this. We'll check the cabinet. And I'll throw this clothing on, because we're not likely to find any more. Newsprint. Okay, so I actually need to look around closely here, because there can actually be some decent items, and I think there can be something under the bed sometimes, but it takes so long to check. And that's probably the shelf that Ted was talking about. It can probably spawn tinder or accelerant, among other things. Yeah, this, like, having 3 degrees of extra clothing right from the start, just from collecting this, is really strong. That's it, right? Yeah, okay, let's go down. So with my estimate of 1 out of every 10 runs having coffee, how many runs did I do today where I actually went into Hibernia? Maybe 6? 6 to 8? So it's the type of thing where, like, I could get it today, I could get it the next time I stream, maybe it'll take like 5 streams. Or, I could like stream twice and get 4 runs that all have coffee. It's very, there's a lot of variance there.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Oops, gotta check in here. I don't know, what are we looking for in here? There can be a book. I know there can be a can opener. The flask can be in here. Don't really want dog food. Accelerant is nice. Hey, what is this? Okay, so there can be something over here. There can be crackers. Interesting. I'll have to remember that for later. One of these times I'm going to charge around this corner and there will be a bear right there. Oh, it's not worth checking the boats, right? Can there be a medical kit in the boats? I know there can be like a plastic container, there can be loose canned food. That's never going to be coffee though, I don't think. And what did we determine about this? Secret trailer we know can frequently have jeans here. And we got these boxes. These boxes can have tinder, clothing, matches, accelerant probably. I don't think they can... Well, maybe they can have coffee, actually. Okay, and then we immediately check the upper one. Now, this is the part that I'm not really convinced is worth it. There can sometimes be a medical box there. Actually get a ski jacket here? We got 2 ski jackets? Wait, this could actually be a sick run if we get wool socks? Because this is the run that we already got, like, +3 clothing, right? And then we got another ski jacket. I think we already have some tinder, right? And we don't bother checking in that corner, so we just go now. We're gonna be so warm with cold fusion and all that clothing. Imagine if we find, like, combat pants or something in some of these lockers in Hibernia. Just get epic clothing bonuses. Okay, matches, book, and I think we're just hoping for coffee in these. If we get coffee, we're good to go. More tinder. This is like the perfect start. Okay, this start is so good that I'm going to take it a little bit further. We're going to loot the rest of Hibernia and just see if we get some decent stuff. If we get that second cup of coffee, for instance. No torch. I'm going to check this backpack. I won't check the body. Let's jump down here. No tinder there. Got 2 pieces of wood. No tinder here. Go up the pipe. So we have 1 cup of coffee here. That's always there. Oh, right. The upper area is just... We got peaches and... Let's check this container. Who knows what can spawn in here. I think you can get, like... Can't you get underwear from those containers? I think you can. Drop down here. Okay, and then the second cup of coffee is probably on, like, the workbench, if it does spawn, but it's not here. We got a hacksaw, amusingly enough. Alright, I'm going to start a fire. I'm taking this further than we've taken one in a long time. Let's go and use the accelerant. Save the books for later. Throw some coal on here. Make some water. Don't think I have a second can. Let's heat the coffee up. And oh, I'm already almost warm. That's how crazy my clothing is. Let's go over here quickly, and I'm gonna check the safe. Because I feel like if I get a good enough result from the safe, I might continue this one. Oh man, so 38 or so. 39? Okay. 39, 33. Oh, 34 more like. It's just about to stop too. Okay, 39, 34, 51. This takes so long if you don't get lucky. 52? Okay.
Probably useful.
Work boots don't cut it. I mean, they are new. We have so much clothing. Like, we probably don't need any teas or anything. I'm gonna at least turn this into a game. Let's, yeah, that's fine. Let's get our torches, and then we'll get out of here. And I'll create a save. I guess I could check... Let's go check that other trailer for coffee on the way out. Just in case. Like, you never know. It might have coffee. And then we'd have a run. Like a really good run. If we did get coffee. How close is this water to being done? Not really. I think I'll just take that. Got a lot of torches now. Just cook that up later. Grab that. Let's go up. I'm going to take this exit. Let's do a little bit of running. I guess we can check in here. I don't think we're going to find anything. Let's just get out of here. Okay, let's drink just a sip of this coffee and start running. I should have waited. I forgot I was going to go in this trailer. We're just looking for loose stuff, though, so it won't take long. I think we got nothing. Okay, let's leave. I think what I'll do is I'll create a save at the mine. And I can decide later if I want to actually continue this run. I'm leaning towards no. Just because I do think the coffee is so important. But it's like I could find coffee at Quonset and get like a really decent time. Just because I have so much clothing, I'm not going to have to stop. Like I don't have to worry about warmth basically at all. Yeah, Wolfie. I know. Nobody cares about you. Okay, we definitely need to get some of these, and I need to eventually evaluate my Tinder situation. I should have grabbed more sticks. But we're okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use that as my save point. We'll, I could, like, go through the rest of the region, but I think I'm ready to call it for today. So, let's go back to the main menu. I'm gonna rename this so I know, so that, like, we have a chain of evidence. We know which one this is. I don't even know, like, there may be rules against this. I know there was one tournament where they made a rule that if you were gonna loot somewhere, you had to, like, you couldn't have your save there. I don't really care. I don't think this is gonna be the winning run or anything like that. So, I should look that up though, just so I know, so I don't mess myself up in the future if I do have a really good run. But yeah, let's go ahead and take the... So, what do we have on this one? This is... We've already been alive 2 hours and 36 minutes. But just to get to the point where we're starting to leave the region. 2.5 hours with all that looting. Yeah, I'm worried that the trailers... Doing secret trailer and the larger trailer probably already adds like 30 minutes. That's so much time if you don't get anything. I mean, we got a ski jacket, and I think we got another tinder. So, and the wool socks. So it's not like we didn't get anything out of it. It's just, is all of that even worth it? I guess that's the question. If you get coffee, it's obviously worth it. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's rename this. So this will be, Olympic Flame. That's what that stands for. I guess I'll just call it 1. Like, this is the first attempt that I've gotten past Hibernia, right? That I actually want to play, in theory. And I'm going to do some more thinking about this. Next time I stream, maybe we'll do some more attempts, and then maybe we'll, like, revert to this if we don't get a better attempt started. Just to get a run done. I can go experiment with all my shortcuts and see how they actually play out in a real game. Alright, well, I'm going to call it there. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I have a feeling this one is going to be... I'm probably going to do some more theory crafting and then set this one out from the sidelines. That's my theory, because I just don't think I have the patience to start 100 games until I get the weather and coffee required to actually get a really amazing time. So, more than happy to watch others pull that off, though. I'm sure there's going to be some pretty epic runs posted in the coming months. Alright, well, I'll leave you guys here. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. And might try to stream again this weekend, but if you're a regular here, you know I've been kind of on break. Just taking it easy, so it's hard to say when the next stream will be. I usually try to schedule it like half an hour to an hour in advance so that there's some notice. Thanks, everyone. See you guys later.